What's up, guys? Back again with another YouTube video, and today we're going to be installing this Minimax V2 tuner on this beautiful Cummins right here. Alright, so another thing we are going to be doing is we're going to be installing this full exhaust from Minimax. I got it as a kit. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to be hooking up this battery tender on it, so nothing happens to it when we are tuning it. Alright, so we're about to show you what comes in the box. So you get the little screen / the tuner, get this adapter to the OBD2 to play to this, and they also include so you can mount it up on the window right there, and you have your HDMI and all the things to connect it. Alright, so here are the things that we're going to be taking to the truck. This is the controller, the HDMI cable, and this just for now. And we also had to buy this to turn on this. So basically this controller has two modes. One is for key on, like when the car's on from the OBD2, it's always constantly on. This OBD2 is always on. Power, that's this way, and then the other way is key on power, which you use this adapter that they give you, and you don't have to use the ground, you only use the power side to this adapter, and this will give a signal to that whenever the car is actually on, the tuner will turn on, so the tuner's not always on. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is plug this controller into right here, the OBD2. I'm going to plug it in. Alright, now with this wire right here that has this end on it, we're going to have to pull this through the firewall so we can get this side to the fuse block. Now we're underneath here, and you're gonna see a spot to the firewall right over there. Some already has something plugged in, which is good, so we already have something cut out so we can pull it through, but you're gonna pull the wire through over there. You're gonna come to your engine bay right here, and it's pretty hard to see, but as you can tell right there, there is a cutout right here. And we're just going to insert it right inside, just like that. And we're gonna pull it through on the other side. So now we're back under the cab right here. And as you can tell, our wire is right there. So you can just pull that through, and we can just plug it into our box. Plug it in right here. So now with our HDMI cable, we're going to plug it in right here. First, we want to just leave everything loosely so nothing is tucked away for right now, just in case we have to take something apart. Okay, now we're going to plug in this little screen right here. All right, so now we're going to grab this wire right here. It's a long wire. We're going to zip tie it nicely so it's away. So we're going to come right here to this fuse block. The fuse that we're going to be using is fuse number 66. Pretty sure it's right here on this whole thing. F66 right there for the sunroof right there. So we're gonna be using that fuse to key on have that for our key on power. So it's this fuse right here. Just gonna take this fuse out. Then you're gonna have to get yourself one of these fuse adapters. You're gonna plug both the fuses in. You're gonna have to have 3 fuses. Plug it in, and the left side is the one that gets power. So you're gonna plug it in right there. And now on this end, you're gonna have to crimp it into here, just like that. All right, so we're gonna fold this over just so it's a little thicker. Just like that. And we're gonna just stick it in right here, and we're gonna press it in. All right, now we're gonna just tape everything up so it's all nice. Now we're gonna plug it in right there, and then you're gonna have to cut a hole out for the wire. As you can tell right here, someone already did it. Cut a little bigger of a hole so we can fit it through. All right, now we're gonna just close it. All right, now we're gonna just zip tie this all nicely together so we don't have all this excess wire sticking out. All right, so now we're gonna key on the car just to see if everything works. And as you can tell right there, we have power to it. But for tuning purposes, what you want to do is come right here, and you're going to want to switch this to always on right there. So no matter what, even if the key is off, this will always be on. For tuning purposes, we are going to need that, and then you can flip it to when it's fully tuned and done. All right, so now we have the tune up right here. So what we're going to want to do is click menu. Then you're going to go on change vehicle. You're going to click what vehicle you have right there. And we have a 13 to 17 right here. No. Yes. Right here. And it's uploading the file for this car. All right, so now you're gonna go back to menu and you're gonna click install download. And whatever, you're gonna have to go through this. You have to go all the way down. Perfect, and you agree. Agree. This is just making sure you have the battery charger hooked up, and we do. Continue. Please verify, and that is what we do have. We have a 2014, so we're all good. And this is why you need to have it on, always on, because now we can turn it off. Continue. Turn the key to run position. And click right here. This is going to take a while to load, so we're just going to let this load. All right, so right when it's going to reach 100% right here, it's going to turn off for 5 seconds and reboot. The tune should be installed, so we should be able to start it. So let's start it. So we can tell it started right up. Now we're just gonna click this. It's gonna do a system check. And the tune is loaded on. As you can tell right here, everything is reading, which is great. And now we're gonna let it run for around 10 to 20 seconds, just to make sure no error codes are on here. And there's no error codes on there, which is good. All right, so once you verified that everything is working, now you just have to take off the exhaust system. So now we're underneath the car right here. So basically what we have to do is take this whole system out of here until all the way over there. So we gotta remove this whole entire exhaust system. And you gotta just disconnect the def injectors right here. And there's some also, well, actually that's the injector, but these spray something, they're two down there, so we just gotta take this whole thing. So basically, easiest way to explain how to take this off, everything that's connected on this exhaust, like all these connectors, take them off. As simple as that. You just disconnect everything and basically just zip tie it back onto the frame. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be cutting it off right here because my bolts are fully stripped, so I'm gonna have to cut it off. But I'm gonna cut it off right here I'm gonna take this whole system off. Guys, so I'm almost done dropping the whole exhaust. It is all hanging. So starting from over here, you have one connector right there, and you have this one. I'm still messing with this one. I'm gonna drop it and then take it out because I'm having trouble getting it because this stupid pin right here is locking it. But that's when I get it off because there's enough access to get it off. That's really it for over here. Now you go down here where the injector is, you only have 2 connectors as well. And then down there, you have 3 connectors. So you have 2 of these right here. And then you have that O2 sensor right there, or NOx sensor, I should say, right here. I didn't disconnect it, I just pulled it out. I'm gonna zip tie it nicely somewhere, or I'm gonna disconnect it out there. I'll have one hiding right behind there. This one right here. You also have to unplug this connector. So once you guys get your old exhaust out of the way and unplug all your connectors, now it's time to put the new exhaust on. So basically how the new exhaust goes on is you have this from the downpipe right here. As you can tell, that's the downpipe. So first this piece would go in, and if you bought the one with the muffler, you put the muffler on, then that piece and these 2 clamps go 1, 2, and then it would reconnect onto the rear end of the exhaust. I'm going to be installing the exhaust a little bit differently because I'm going to be adding 2 mufflers to make it nice and OEM sound, so it doesn't sound like it's loud or anything and there's no drone in the cab. Before you put your whole exhaust on, grab some electrical tape right here and just tape up all your connectors so no water gets in them. Alright guys, so this is how my exhaust turned out right here. I had to custom make everything because the kit I got was just not the right one. I mean, I'm assuming just because this is a cab on chassis or whatever, that's why it didn't fit. But it's all good. I mean, I had to custom fabricate either way because I added another muffler on. But starting from right here, we go down, and then I clamped it onto this muffler. 4-inch muffler right here. And then right here, I welded it onto a pipe that goes into the other muffler right here, and we clamp that together. Then we have this muffler going into this custom pipe I made right here to make it fit to over there. I just still need the exhaust clamp right here, but it's still not leaking. But yeah, everything worked out great and it sounds super quiet. All right, so once you guys are done with doing your whole exhaust system, now we're going to unplug this EGR right here. We're gonna just tie it together like that. And then there's this one connector right here, right behind over here. It's really hard to see, but it is behind. It's for the throttle. It's right there. And you have to get a mirror. That's the wire right there. You gotta unplug that. So once you disconnect everything in your engine, now it's time where you can organize this, and then you're gonna route it nicely so it does hang right there. All right, so for organizing this air right here, you're gonna pull this panel out right here, just like that, and then we can disconnect this tuner out of here, and then we're gonna run the wire up through here. Kind of push it through right there. All right, so now we're gonna slide this through here like that, and then you're gonna place it where you want it. I'm gonna probably put ours like somewhere like right here. So this is how I have it set up right there. Wires coming through down here, and now we can put the side cover back on. Now for down here, we're just gonna zip tie everything all nicely. Okay, so this is how it looks right here. Can't even see it over there. All right guys, and that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys in the next one.